Today I worked on another MegaMan.EXE sketch. This time I really wanted to focus on keeping things clean. And as I usually say, structure first, and then detail second, right? Instead of rushing into details, I tried to build the structure first. Very important for helping prevent all mistakes, even I'm recording this like a little bit later on, like a few days later on from when I've actually drawn this, but I notice I've even naturally just even started doing a lot more of the structure. So I can draw over lines. This is all in pen. I can draw over lines to where, or maybe with some shading you can't see, but I'm doing a lot of more lighter structure lines before I even go into drawing what's actually going to be there, whether it's like a shape or whether it's like a stick figure, literally, just so I can keep in mind where I'm going to put something, even if it's not going to go exactly there, but just making sure that guideline is there and that the guideline is following the reference or the idea of what I'm trying to draw. Like that helps increase the accuracy tremendously, obviously, because it's just there's less winging it and more you're deliberately trying to make sure you're following an exact guideline that can help you get the exact type of drawing that you're trying to do, or the exact part of a drawing. I'm starting to notice that this makes a big difference in how controlled my drawing looks. For sure. I think this one came out cleaner than some of my previous sketches. Oh. I'm also leaving out in some of these sketches there's background or there's like effects around the character. In this one I drew some of the effects. If I remember correctly, so I think in I didn't really watch much of Mega Man Anti-Warrior. I see it on TV when I was a kid, and I'd flip past the channel, and I actually would have wanted to watch it, but there's other things that I was like watching on TV, and it would have been like a day I had off from school. That show usually aired during when school was going on, so like there wasn't really a way for me to be able to see that show, because I think it came on during weekdays really only, and weekends, like I might have been playing sports on a team, or it wasn't airing on weekends, but I can't really remember. But so there's a thing called style change in the video game. Has to do with the lore in the video games. If you use it, you could get style. You could Mega Man. He's a computer program that has like AI or human / AI tendencies. That's what these programs are, and each person has one like in their cell phone. Basically, it's like as if everybody had their own personal Siri, right? And it has like an avatar, and it can do way more things than people would think. But what happens is when they battle viruses, they use battleships, and then it's called a Navi. Instead of calling it Siri, you could call it a Navi, a net Navi, right? It has battleships, and then it has this attack that's based off of how the avatar looks or whatever, right? Mega Man, he has like an arm gun, whereas Mega Buster, which is a staple in like the Mega Man series, wherever Mega Man is, there's something about his character that has certain qualities. He's usually blue. He has like body armor, and he has like a hand that can transform into a gun, right? So basically, the whole thing with him is when you play the games, there's this thing called a style change, and I should have just said this in order instead of just bringing up the word, because like I have to give, like, if somebody didn't know the series, you have to explain why does he look different in certain pictures. The style change means that in the video game, when you're playing the game, a style change would happen based on the way you're playing. So like if you're using specific types of strategies, the game would recognize that and then allow you to upgrade um, the form of Mega Man based on how you're playing. So, for example, if you're using specific elements a lot, you could develop that element, and then if you're using specific types of playing style, you would develop that type of prototype. So you get a prototype and an elemental upgrade, and I have the name of the style that's in this picture, but it's either bug style or it's hub style or full synchro style, which is something that appeared like in the show and in the manga, because I actually had the manga when I was a kid and I used to read it. But bug style, it's what happens is when you can program your every single game, there's a part of the game that they introduce this thing called the Navi customizer, where you can customize the back end of your. If you know anything about computers and computer programming, you can, when you turn your computer on, um, it's set up a certain way to run naturally, but you can customize pretty much everything that's going on. But you have to know how to go into the back end of the computer, and it's not like writing codes, but you have to understand how to get there. So, for example, you could say, when I turn my computer on, I want certain programs to start up automatically, or I want certain programs to not start up. You know, I want I want the internet to open up at a certain time of the day every single day. You could program your computer to do whatever you want, but you have to know how to do that. You could learn that from taking a class, or you could go look it up on Google, or you can read a book that tells you how to use your computer so that you could navigate to do all these things, right? So what happens is you can do that with Mega Man as well, and customize him the way you want so that he can have certain programs already activated in him for battle. But what, excuse me, what happens is if you customize, there's rules on how to customize them, and if you go outside the rules, your Mega Man, your Net Navi that you're using, Mega Man, he becomes glitchy. So he has certain glitches where he's not gonna be able to function normally in certain ways. So if you allow yourself to play glitchy on purpose, then you'd unlock what's called bug style or whatever. So this is a picture of him in bug style. So what happens is the way it's portrayed in the fan art is he has like certain specific designs in certain parts of his costume, and then there's like it looks like Data, like the way Data would be portrayed in a cartoon, where you see like these little squares and they look like almost like computer chips where they're floating. That's a way that, you know, quote unquote data or information could be portrayed in a cartoon that has like some type of cyber aspect to it or theme to it. What happens is stuff like that would be floating around them, but that's in the fan art. I'm just explaining the lore why I drew him this way. Um, and then there's other forms he would be drawn in. If you were drawing from the fan art, or if you understood what the style looked like and drew the art or whatever. So there's a ton of people who know the lore of Mega Man and they draw stuff like that. And you can find it on Google or, you know, wherever people post art of Mega Man, right? So just but yeah, anyways, even though I can still see areas that need improvement, especially with the proportions and some of the smaller details, overall, I feel like this is a step forward. And I'm starting to understand the process more.